And good afternoon. Today is July 23rd, 2018. Get ready for the emergency broadcast system, the Forbidden History series. What they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. Because somebody's got to do it, so go tell your friends, ladies and gentlemen. Now we interrupt your normally scheduled programming to bring you this very important deprogramming program. Please note that the following views and the opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily the views nor the opinions of the Mass Force Group, YouTube.com, Free America Radio Network, our sponsors, our partners, and MFG is a private society, and nothing here is ever construed as medical nor legal advice. And listen to the Forbidden History prime time 7 days a week right here on therealpublicradio.net, because hidden beneath the sands of time lies the greatest of all mysteries. It's the Forbidden History. Unearth for yourself the secret truths that lie hidden just beneath the surface below our feet. What is it that the powers that be do not want you or I to know? Come and journey with us as we explore and dare to know, because it's all right here, coming your way 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, sometimes not. But we're here, the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. And thanks to YouTube.com for your hosting the Forbidden History series. Stand by for the broadcast. Hello, Star. Good to have you. Glad to see the stars are shining. Coming to you live from Studio Z at the Lighthouse in Central Ohio and Free America Radio Network in the land of dreams, enchantments, and nightmares. It's the Forbidden History series, the great lies of history, the words that kill, the original thought transliteration program. We are the deprogramming program right here, ladies and gentlemen, which they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. And I'm your host, Desert Owl. Glad you tuned in. A bird who sees in the night, and today kind of dragged on, so I apologize to a lot of people. Got on at a certain time in the morning, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and so today I didn't feel very well slept in, and so I may be starting in this general time slot now. So very likely could be 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We'll see. But the battle for the mind. The truth is light, and ignorance is darkness. And these are antagonists against each other. All right? The battle for the mind, ladies and gentlemen. Those who drink the fluoride and those who don't, right? Okay. And one who doesn't want to know the truth is a slave who doesn't want to be set free. That's Desert Owl 2018, okay? And don't forget, you hear it here first, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I do want to remind you that you hear it here first. And 5:30 was early, laughing out loud. I like this time. Okay, very good start. Glad to hear it. I know it's often better time for the left coast, absolutely. And the best way to identify the truth is to identify the great lies of history, ladies and gentlemen. That's right here. The great lies of history. That's right, because somebody's got to do it. We got to figure this thing out. I've been working on it all my life, and, I'm still coming out. I can't get over it. It's like never ends. And, that's why a lie will race around the world while the truth is slowly putting on its shoes, or its tennis shoes. The truth is confident within itself, even when it falls on deaf ears. That's okay, I guess. Sorry for you. Sorry for you, right? We try to tell you, tried to warn you. Nobody gets it. I could make a rhyme there if I wanted to, but you get the point, ladies and gentlemen. We're in trouble cosmically, and they got people diverted by war. Phony wars, Syrian wars, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, who got ya, gotta do ya, all of that, just to divert your attention from what is most important, and that is what's up above, what's there, in every sense of the word. LC, I finally made it. Yes, I did. I gotta tell you, that beautiful picture is so cute. You remind me of somebody out of the book of Dr. Seuss. Could it be? I don't know. Like, but wow, you're good. All right, got to get me one of those. All right. So where was I talking about now? I got totally diverted. That's right. And you know, if you don't know where you're going, then of course any road will get you there. And I just think that is the way most people run their lives, like that, right? Just you know, they're not thinking about who they are, where they are, and when they are. They in fact they probably don't care. Probably don't because, you know, life's a party. And welcome to the Forbidden History and the Great Lies of History, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm Desert Al, your host, just on a peace campaign here, trying to uh, uh, get out the you know the words that we are in, not in Kansas. We're not in even in the state of the federal jurisdiction illusion, the ship of state that just came right in. Um, that's right, Star. Thank you. The truth doesn't hurt. For those who are true, it doesn't hurt. But those who are, um, having to keep them walls up because they got their defenses and don't get too close to them, and and all and so those proverbial Jericho. First thing that happened, they walk around 7 times, symbol of time, and the walls come down. And then when the walls come down, then guess what? You've gone into that realm of eternity because you're open to the great light of truth and the great one who made all things, the great breath of the wind and fire. So United States, I did this one already. Yeah. Well, I'll say it one more time, then I'll put the card away. All right. The United States of America has waged 10 times more war than Nazi Germany ever did. Okay. We're like in 160 nations of the world with the United States military. Do you understand that that's sort of like a police state? You think you might know who's really running the show? Who's the right-hand man of the Vatican? You know what I mean? And that's why Islam is so powerful, because the Vatican created Islam. That's right. That's Bill Hughes, secret terrorist, and I forget the other one at the moment. But what was that book? Let me tell you. Hang on. The Enemy Unmasked. Okay, The Enemy Unmasked. 2 little books from Bill Hughes, and if you want to get a book, I'll forward any email if you want to make a request for the book. But no, you gotta connect with them. I gotta get your phone number. Hang on, because you have to send them $12. $2 for shipping is included. $5 a book. Let me see here. Bill, where you at, Bill? Hughes under H, I think. Yeah. Okay. So Bill's cell phone is 863-412-0522. 863-412-0522. Tell them Desert sent you. You heard it here on the Forbidden History radio broadcast, and ask Bill, when are you going to let Desert interview you? Okay. Because it's been a while, and I'd like to get Bill on at least once a month, because he'll tell the story of the Titanic, how it was taken down by the Jesuits. Okay. Just a wonderful group of people want to drink your blood. Okay. And so, and yeah, I got a fantastic book in today. I can't get over. I got a German Bible. So thank you out there to a dear listener and friend who sent a German Bible so that I could begin to transliterate in one more direction of because that's one I just didn't have. I had two German dictionaries, but I didn't have the scriptures, and now it's going to help me out big time. Look at that Indo-Germanic, and the words are flying by. I thought you said that flying thing was okay. I can't remember. It was directed to me, all capital letters on the word question or request. Okay, but anyway, good to have you, Stone Kingdom of Yahweh, and everybody, LC Star, and I know we got other people. If you're new, thank you for listening in. Okay, and we do take callers, questions, comments. All right, and we're user friendly. We we care about what everybody thinks out there, and we want to make sense out of it all. 608-566-7295. 608-566-7295, or you call in on Skype. All right, that's Free America Radio, all one word. Skype is Free America Radio, all one word. It says in Kingsland, Georgia, but I'm in Central Ohio now. Okay, So yeah, we're trying to make it a better world, but we can't do it. I guess because of the psychopaths who run it. That's why we can't do it. Okay, we'd like to, right? So the good news is this is not our world. We're from somewhere else. Hey, Faith, always good to have you. Thank you for your special gift. I sure do appreciate it. Um, and so uh, yeah, it's a tough deal. And half the stuff out there ain't true, at least if not most of it. So how do we sift through it, right? And don't forget you can get a copy of the Real Da Vinci Code, Etymological Dictionary, any size donation. Okay, and if you don't have the funny money, then just tell me, send me your email, contact at freeamericaradio.com, okay? And just tell me you don't have any funny money, but you need a copy of the dictionary. I'll be glad to get it to you, all right? And you can support this radio program and your health at the same time by going to healthwalk.basicreset.com. That's healthwalk.basicreset.com. And you can get your own health food store online website for free, okay, by signing up under healthwalk.basicreset.com. And then you can share with friends, and everybody gets a great upfront weekly pay when you start signing people up. Okay, so just get it ramping up, and if you get on a sign up under us, we'll read your 3x5 card with your website over the phone. That's how we're going to help our friends out by helping us. Okay, so nothing to promote, but you can sit back and enjoy our growth, because I just know that people love the truth and they're tuning in. And 10,000 Lakes, good to have you. I've been seeing you for the last month or two, and you've got a beautiful place up there. I know that. So good to um, see some friends today. And so the Book of Wisdom, any size donation. Okay, again, the Book of Wisdom by PDF by the great uncle of Yeshua, Joseph of Arimathea, the greatest book of wisdom you'll ever read. And going to check out. Oh, okay. Sorry, that's not for me. And don't forget, call in with your comments or questions, because that's why we're here, right? It's like I gave my whole life to wanting to know. Now I want to forget. Okay, I know too much, and it's a tragic world when nobody can see. And but you sky watchers, you were looking up. Somehow it happened, and you got the picture, and then all the other light bulbs went off. So how appropriate when it's up. The sun starts with the light right up in the sky, and something's going on with that. And so yeah, it's looking pretty certain here. Okay, I don't have any hope for anything to overcome the depletion of the ozone layer. Nothing, well, other than 20 million years, I guess, is what it takes. Okay, to get it back. And don't forget, if you want to know the future, then you just need to look right here every day now. It's going to be around 2 in the afternoon, I think, or 1 or 2. We'll figure it out. And we're the place where you get the important news on Forbidden History, okay, and a Forbidden History report. That's what we do. And thank you, LC. And we got some wonderful people on this, this forum, and yeah, it's just amazing. So let me see where I want to go here. I don't think Ninja Cat is here, right? Okay, and Love Matters is not here. Okay, Sam Groper, who's here? No, Lydia. Okay, so whenever I see you, then I'll follow up with you, because okay, yeah, where do I want to go here? I have a couple just preliminaries. We're in the duality, and what we're revealing is the duality within the matrix. And nature was bad enough, because to be in a body on a planet with all of its makeup is already the first matrix. But then when a bunch of liars, beaters, and cheaters come along and take over civilization, and all that is created and all that is made is instituted through them, by them, for them, all against you, then it's quite a wake up to the matrix, because they have played the ultimate psychological psyops on all of people throughout all time, from recorded history, by the ancient Aryan Brahmin priesthood. Okay, that's the way it all started. And whoever won the first battle writes the history. So you can be sure the history has been clouded all the way from day one. The good news is that people tell the truth in a certain point, got the story, and it stays preserved somewhere. That's why we have so many lost writings. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have time to look into that, but good to have you, Stone Kingdom. Okay, and I'll try to get back with that when I do my review. Be glad to researched that, and so so let me take my notes here. So the code, code is what we're talking about, and the code, is interesting because I did the anagram just within the last night, I think, and I immediately read it backwards, and I saw it was the word edict. It's the anagram for the word edict. Okay, so the code is the edict from the beginning of the serpent culture that we see with the cobra on the pharaoh's headdress, but is a secret society at the same time. The serpent, why? Because we are the serpent cult that serves their goddess, the Hydra with all the serpents coming out of her head. There's the word servant. I just said servant. That's serpent. If you have a servant, you have a serpent because the serpent goes anywhere you tell the serpent to go, and walks over there and does your bidding for you. You're serpent, all right? Because you're a serpent. Can't get away from being a serpent. Okay, so put that feather in your hat and get the picture on how they've changed the meaning of words, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's an edict from the beginning to write to us in code with our scriptures. They take over our scriptures. They change the words. You never get the picture, and you're drinking fluoride at their mercy. It's an amazing place, Mr. Smith. You know that, don't you? Of course you do. So let me put this card over here, and then New Testament or the King James. This is a note. Let me see what I got here. Okay, yeah, there was, supposed this, I told the Betsy Ross story is a child's tale, and Christopher Columbus discovering America is a child's tale. Also, King James version having a team of 50 translators or whatever they claim is another fairy tale because it's 90% made up of William Tyndale, and all they had to do was to modify it by putting in their secret code and maybe just making a little adjustment in a few words. But that's how they did it. And so and then I told what happened to King James and his son afterwards. His son gets his head cut off. His father has his lamp put out, right? So anyway, it's the great scheme. Tyndale. Of all the introductions I ever read in our scriptures, would think that these people back then, like, as if they would be more primitive, right? Because it's further back, but they were geniuses, And William Tyndale, what he did is just absolutely. His introduction is the most powerful, as well as his translation, epic, because it was used as the basis and foundation for the King James Version translation. Okay, it is William Tyndale. William, rest in peace. He would burn at the stake, and of all things, you think he could have got credit for it. Yes, not so, but with those Illuminazis. And yeah, let's see. So the Great Tribulation, it's also known as the last days. I just had to recap that because yesterday, you got to listen to yesterday's program, and you will hear the ultimate presentation, maybe the first time ever done on that. From the moment Israel was banished to Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar and the entire populace taken, the land destroyed, the temple destroyed, that those were also then known as the last days, you see? And as it says in Revelations, they would work overtime to change the times and the seasons, let alone they changed the words and the tenses and everything. So that was the last days, because it was, what did I read in Hebrews? In Hebrews 9:26, at the end of the world, Yeshua came. Right? That's what it said, at the end of the world. So it's the end of the age, and he brought the golden age of light. It's a metaphor, but it has a powerful meaning when we talk about the supernatural. Okay, powerful meaning. So let me just pull that. So you got to listen to yesterday's program, all right? And so follow up, Alex Jones. We talked about him having been actually Bill Hicks, but just wanted to also mention, the people that sign up with Alex Jones programs, then all of their data passes on to Sanford in San Antonio, which is really Mossad, because Jones is a Jew that is supporting Zionism and Israel, world domination, Secret Service, Mossad, because he's of the same ilk here in America, secret societies and you know, alphabet soup. So yeah, Alex Jones, Sanford, and he was Alex TV the program Alex Jones is owned by Ted Turner, Turner Broadcasting, right? And so this is all public awareness. Okay, it's all out there. So anyway, I just want to mention that, you know, that he admitted, I heard him admit on an interview with two young guys. So he thought he could lower his banner or something, but he actually said, "Yeah, I've got family that are CIA." That's what he said. Okay, Alex Jones. So, and not to mention that he mentioned also his family are all Masons. So put two and two together, just like therefore David Icke, who apparently his real name is David Rockefeller. That's why he was in media right from the beginning there in England. Right out the gate, he's already on television, you know, and then just somehow falls into the knowledge game, you know, the alternative. But you know, it's you got to look at everything David Icke Rockefeller says, okay? Because no aliens made the moon, all right? The moon was made by Yahweh in the great plan, okay? And hey, y'all love, good to have you. So David Rockefeller, David Icke, okay? So it figures, doesn't it? And enough with Judas goats. Let's move on. And still looking for a couple names here, but if I see you, I'll be glad to you know, follow up with you. All right. So symbolism, and don't forget the phone is good to go. I got it on a stack of 3x5 cards right in front of the microphone, just waiting for your call. 608-566-7295. Otherwise, I'm going to keep talking. All right. Let me take a sip of my Java here. Hope you're all doing well tonight. And don't forget, you are tuned in right here to the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. I'm Desert Owl, your host, a bird who sees in the night. I can take it, okay? I just hope you can take it and you can get the vision and see it more clearly. See and read it for yourself. Be set free. Read the code. Know the truth about every issue, ladies and gentlemen. It can be done. And signs and symbols rule the world, not words nor law. Signs and symbols, okay? That's where we got to go. That's why we do it first. Signs and symbols, because everything else flows. All words are symbols. And so we're going to, letter E is next up. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight. But, you know, I mentioned the Young Turks was the name of the first mafia in America in the 1800s. Okay? The Young Turks. So you know who the Young Turks are today. They're Judas goats. They're Islamic, you know. You got it. You got it. So, you know, we had it's a world of duality. You know, it just goes with the territory. You know, but anyway, 68 to 70 A.D. Talking about the symbolism of Esha Rael, when it's the banishment happened in 730 B.C. with the 10 northern tribes, all primarily in Samaria, but actually all the way Esha Rael went all the way to the you know, the Euphrates River. I had no idea. I just recently pulled all that together thanks to Farrar Fenton. Farrar Fenton, again, the #1 translation you need to get from artisanpublishers.com, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, okay, artisanpublishers.com, the Farrar Fenton Bible, as well as Lamsa. You have both of the best two in the West, okay? You compare them, and it will bring you closer back to the beginning than you can ever go when you compare the Aramaic with the Greek and the Yiddish Hebrew, okay, Yiddish Hebrew. So, but anyway, so 68. So the banishment occurred at 730. They disappeared off the map. Went to Babylon. They were replaced by foreign people that just simply learned the customs of Israel, not to offend Yahweh, because it was Yahweh's property. Okay, and they were afraid because they're getting eaten by lions. But so that's when it started. So there's a beginning symbolism, and then there's an end, right? And so, okay, we heard it's done away. You're done. They're done. 730 BC. But then when did it happen again? When the great pretenders were being visited by the Redeemer, right? They were the great pretenders. They were following the Babylonian Talmud, getting all the people to follow Babylonian Talmud customs, and raping and pillaging, taking from the widow before he goes to bed at night. You know, make sure he gets that last dollar from the widow. The rabbi from Hammurabi, the Babylonian, Baal suits, the master soothsayers, okay, the Baal suits. That's what they call themselves. These animals that they call us animals, that rape children, sacrifice babies. That's why they're disappearing in great numbers around America alone, let alone the rest of the world. Okay, so in 68 to 70 A.D. is when 68 A.D. is when the revolt happened with Rome, and those who were in. That's when Yeshua said, let those when they see the army march upon Jerusalem, then know not to go back and get his coat, but just flee to the mountains. Okay, don't go back. And when he said mountains, he meant the Himalayan mountains and not the Dead Sea. All right, the Himalayas, the big ones on the northern side of Iraq. Okay, up through Kurdistan. And so for 2 years they closed the big gates, and because it was a feast of the foreign, foreigners came. There was 2 million people, twice as big as it would be with its population. 2 million people behind the wall, sieged by Rome, closed their gates, and sieged out for 2 years from 68 to 70 A.D. And they started eating their babies and preying on each other and killing each other, drinking each other's blood, and then if any snuck out through the tunnels, then they were immediately flayed open by the Roman guards, looking for the jewelry that they would have swallowed and would be in their intestines, and they ripped out their intestines to look for jewelry. So it ended up with close to 500,000 in the valley of Gehenna, known as the garbage dump. Gehenna, what they call Armageddon. That's it, Gehenna. Okay, so why isn't this talked about? So the beginning was 730 BC, and then the final act, when they took everything away from the temple for the last time, the menorahs, the everything, all the wealth, whatever there was, took it, and it actually was the wealth that they got from the siege on Jerusalem was the very wealth that had funded the great Colosseum there in Rome. And there is a victory arch right outside the Colosseum showing all of the possessions of Israel coming up the Pion Way, the Appian Way, and bringing everything. And the big menorah is right there in the middle. Everything from Jerusalem funded the great, amphitheater. God, having a senior moment here, forget me. The Colosseum, thank you very much. All right, so that's that, all right? So it's just, it's amazing, when people are still, Israel, what? Israel disappeared, 730 BC, and then the final, when the pretenders, when the foreigners that had taken over, the merchants of the priesthood, that killed the Mashiach because they knew who he was, but they did not want him. And so they said, let's kill the son and the inheritance will be ours, just like the parable. So, okay, so 68, 70 AD, they're annihilated. 500,000 lived, 500,000 in the valley, the garbage dump of Gehenna. 500,000 died inside the walls. Okay, and the rest are sold into slavery. So it's I'd have to research the exact numbers again, but that's close. All right. So people don't talk about it. Well, if they control publishing, I guess they won't talk about it. But it's a fact of history easily found in Josephus, who sold out as a trader and became part of the Flavius family. Flavius Vespasian left in 68 or 69 to become Caesar, went back to Rome, while his son Titus took over the rest of the siege till 70 AD. So that's the rest of the story, if you didn't know it. And so it's done. It's over. Anyone claiming to be Israel, pseudo-Israel, they were replaced so many times, it ain't funny, okay? And banished forever, and never again were free. And the only freedom that ever came was that of the one that was introduced by Yeshua the Mashiach, okay? Yeshua, right? Commonly known as Jesus the Christ. He brought truth and peace, the anointing of truth, and a promise of eternity through the sacred purification rite, and real simple. And then he begins to commune with you and to transform your being into a royal messenger of light. That would be improperly called an angel of light. No, a royal messenger, a royal messenger of light. That's what we are supposed to be, messengers of light. The phoenix, okay? Just want to add real quick, the feathered serpent. That's what the phoenix is. We talked about it being the male, sexual organ, and that's why they abbreviate it and they got the smaller word out of it, but it was phoenix, and because it's the feathered serpent, it's the bird that flies. Because sex obviously is of a the sensual nature and the pleasure derived. So it's the feathered serpent, the bird who flies through the air, and then it also symbolizes not the male serpent as well, but the country, the nation. All right, everything is represented by the serpent, the sun, a culture. All right, the diction. It is a serpent. It changes itself. So the phoenix is the feathered serpent, and it goes back to the Toltec god Americu, Quetzalcoatl, and all that. Okay, the feathered serpent, Americu. That's America, because America was the New Deal, the new boy in town, gonna whip up on the world, tell them how to live for the Vatican, and the Jesuits. So, and the other wonderful people that hang out with them. And the irony of, the Irish, because who had that? Somebody had it on the last program, I think. The irony of the Irish, is that they were Canaanite. Canaanite. See the word ire, ire is fire. Put a PH in front of it, symbol of creation. It's the fire. They were the fire for the Aryan Brahmin priesthood, the secret priesthood that ran the world, said they were too smart and they need not work, and that the redhead spotted, stained in blood children of Cain would be the puppet kings and the warfaring class that would attack all of the people and conquer them and enslave them for the Aryan priesthood. We're all light beings. The only way to advance forward is through selfless love. Thank you very much, Stone Kingdom. Absolutely. And so the irony is this in history and nature is what they call today the Irish really are. I got 25% Irish in me. I still got freckles on my shoulders I can see through. It's very pale. But, so it has nothing to do with flesh and blood anymore. It is about spirit. Anyone, anywhere, any race, any tribe, can serve the Great Spirit and be set free. But it's an irony, this legacy. This is a private, and like you can still see the violent nature within the Irish psyche. I think of the classic when, we have this picture of a group of guys fighting, and the Irish guy comes over and says, "Hey, laddie, is this a private fight or can anyone join in?" Right? And so they're just happy to get in a fight. The Irish, like, these ruffians that conquered the world. The Celtic cross that they're buried under is evidence that they were seafarers. Okay, seafarers. That was the Celtic cross, and the circle in the middle. It was the first navigation instrument, accurate within 4 nautical miles. And they didn't want us to have that picture either. So, okay, you got it here on symbols. Glad you tuned in. Hope you're telling your friends about the broadcast. You did tell your friends about the broadcast, right? Okay, thank you. So I'm getting my, I got to get organized. That's what I've got to do. So love to have you call in, okay, anytime. And so real quick, I just wanted to go back over the movies, all right, while I got you. And LC, so yes, your dad's side, all redheads, temper. Okay. All right, enough to give you whiskers, I imagine, right? And so singularity, ladies and gentlemen. I finished that movie last night, this B-rated, poorly done, but the symbolism was what it was about. They just got to get the message out. We just got to get a message to you, and so that's what they do. And so the little girl, when they stumble upon this group of people toughing it out, and living in their own little clan, and they got their guns and stuff, immediately attack the foreigners, who were living in peace and wanted to hurt nobody, but they're getting attacked. So the little girl who spots them has a blind eye, you see, and and the left eye, and it's the symbol of the occult. That's why when you watch a movie, very often the left eye is put out somewhere in it as a symbol. they're on the other side, you know, with the blind goddess, Lucy Faye, and also known as Columbia. Okay, the woman who looks really good, but you know, and supposed to be a virgin, but she's really a whore and demands blood. Okay, so that little girl points out to these other people, look over there, and then they're you know they're attacked. But so the little girl represents the you know the goddess, and because of the blind eye, it's this very seek a low meaning motif, but it's still there, you know. And then the blind eye also belonged to the secondary guy in the AI program. They were converted to flesh and blood into some type of you know enlightened being that they claim to be. You know these phony illuminated. They really think they're something important, but you know they don't know anything. So you know, so that yeah. So anyway, very interesting. You know that because that's a symbol that's there in the what is it? The oh, what the Exorcist? Okay, very big in there. So, but the Curse of Superman. You know, I did that yesterday, and I forgot to title it "The Curse of Superman." That's really what it is. And hello, Natasha, Journey. Hey, doing okay? We're been on just about 36 minutes right now, so good to have you. And we got to roll for a while, and then you can hear the first part, okay, after the program. So you know, so Superman. You know, well, I want to give an example of one thing out of The Exorcist. I couldn't get over it. The Twin Towers were there, okay, stained in blood in the movie The Exorcist from way back then. And they're stained in blood. In fact, the street was stained in blood. The cars were lipstick red, stained in blood so you couldn't miss it. And, you know, and so at one point in The Exorcist, we got a priest, very much about the, you know, the religion. It was the exorcists, right? So after they torture somebody and blow their mind up, then they're going to also exercise on them and say, "We'll get the demon out. Don't worry." You know. So it was interesting that at one point in the beginning of the movie, the woman again, because you know the women are representing the occult woman. Sorry, ladies, but you know that's the way they're doing it. And it seems to be a guys' club totally. You know, it's amazing. You can't figure that one out. But so in there, the woman who's an actress walks by a courtyard, a Catholic courtyard, where two priests are talking, and one priest is confessing to the other one, you know, I don't know anyone else who has to read words backwards, but I talk to doctors, to lawyers, uh, you know, to politicians, and I don't know any of them that have to read their words backwards, right? That's what he said. And so it's like, and she stops to listen, you see? So it's like, okay, take notice, listen to these words. And they're talking about the code just to, you know, put it in our face, but to remind them, you know, to look for the code, okay? Read the words backwards and forwards and up and down. And so there you go. Let me see any other notes here. So, you know, so on the Superman, right? um, the Men of Steel, I pointed out that the Supermen were the Suppermen, and those were the Jesuits. They have their underground feast or their ritual in black on Saturday night, then Sunday morning come out in white robes and have their other ritual with the Luciferian symbol of the moon, the host, and and so the Men of Steel are the men who steal. They stole our minds. They let us roam as free chickens, but they stole our minds. They stole our ability to process what is really happened and is going on. The mind control. It is very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. You know, but most of you have been tuned in and you've been following and you're getting the picture. And I can't tell you what it does for me. You know what it's like to just feel like you're the only one who can see this stuff. It is really rough, I'm telling you. People say they get it, but you know they really don't. You know, sometimes. So, but there's nothing greater, you know, than knowing the truth. And so on the movie Superman, I went over the words like Clark Kent, you know, is the cloak of lawfulness. I defined the words, and Lois Lane is the true woman's line. 3 words there. And then CAPE is capious, means the power that takes. Who's the power that takes? The Vatican. And their police force and their military, all the Vaticans. Okay. And then Perry White, he's Perry means to make fat, and white is like a star. So I define white. All right, and it's Veta, Veta, and so it means the way of the eye of return, the way of the eye of return. So that's the white, like a star, like we talked about being a star, remember? And so it's the white like a star, and so Veta is the way of the eye of the light of return. I have to put the light there. That's what I'm missing. The light of. Okay, and so it's interesting when I was able to because I've been looking at the word white, like all the buildings are white in Washington D.C., right? They're all white, and so I knew. And Washington, wash. What's Washington? Wash everything white. Wash everything white, right? And so when I did the transliteration, finally after all these years, just today, and I saw the code W is a V, and I had to add the AY. Two other vowels, and then the ITE is the ATA, knowing the code, and it says Veta, and it means the way of the eye of the light of return, symbolic of a star, symbolic of the sun. Okay, and so Perry White there, it all fits right there. But so the man of steel are the men who steal. They stole our minds, and so what did Perry White always say in the movie, right, or in the TV program? Great Caesar's ghost. Great Caesar's ghost, you see? He was, and Love Matters, good to have you. Not a problem. I was late, okay? I was not feeling well this morning, and I took my time, so I glad you all hanging in there for me. But Great Caesar's ghost, okay? You know what to talk about? Roman law. We went under Roman law to bankruptcy in 1933. Great Caesar's ghost. Caesar, you see? And how it's in the television program. Great Caesar's ghost. We got the New Deal going, baby, better than any other deal because it brings on military fascism and corporatism and fraud and fictions and titles of nobility, but certainly nothing in it for you. Nothing in it for you, ladies and gentlemen, just for them. Okay? They use your labor, they capture your minds, and in the end, you couldn't even figure out what they did to you. The greatest show on earth. And they've been practicing it from the beginning of time, the beginning of recorded history, as much as possibly 10 or 12,000 years, if some of the timeline is still an illusion, okay? And how they get Christians to think it all started 5,000 years ago. Give me a break. The Great Flood was 5,500 years ago. What about before the flood? That'd be a couple thousand right there, you see? But they can't even, they hear it on the documentary, and they, nobody's challenging it. And this is what academia is feeding us. That's what they're feeding us. The bull, the papal bull, the ball bull. So I hope you're enjoying the review here. And okay. And then Jimmy, what's interesting about the fact that he puts the fix in, and the Jimmy, he'll Jimmy it. And who do you need me to rub off? Okay, we can rub him off. Isn't my name Jimmy? But yet it also comes from the word James, and James means the seed of light. So this Aryan priesthood that I've been talking about, are claiming to be the seed of the light, which implied Aryan because that's what Abraham and Noah and Enoch and Shem and all of them were. They were Aryan, and so they would have also been truly, legitimately the seed of the sun. The seed of the Aryan that started with Adam and Eve, Hadam and Keva, Dictum and Keva. So I never thought I'd ever see that, and when I saw it plainly through, having my rose glasses off, and about 5 years ago, I was astonished to realize that our Adam and Eve gave us the Aryan race, and that's the best kept secret of the entire deal. The other races were here. We were supposed to bring them the truth, but instead the Aryan race wanted to capture mankind and enslave him, and business would be good, and to enslave all the women and have a party, and never have to work as a priesthood and get somebody else to fight your battles. And Paula, good to have you. Uh, Good to have you. Yes. Hi, new to your stream live. I just began listening to past shows. Would you consider sharing your interpretation of iPet Goat, iPet 2? Thank you, Paula. Paula, I'm not sure what the I or the 2 is about. Could you clarify it? Keep it. Try it again simply. Love matters. Hey, all of you, welcome to our new listeners. Good to have you. We're going through symbols right now. You're tuned in to the RealPublicRadio.net, Free America Radio Network, and I'm your host, Desert Owl. Glad you're tuned in. Hope you're telling your friends. We can have it happening here. We can figure it out. You folks are helping me figure it out. Okay, just by many of your comments are just allowing me to have a venue to talk and talk to wonderful people. It's a great opportunity. I'm so honored. When you didn't have your phone didn't ring anymore, it's quite a surprise to wake up with so many excellent spirits. All of you care. You're all so absolutely exceptional. You all care about our world and what's going on, and you've been taking pictures of the sky, going out there in that radiation, and and so thank you. Okay, thank you for being such wonderful, fine friends and inspiring me, and I want to give it all to you. Okay, everything I had to struggle for and crawl and get persecuted for it, the whole 9 yards, to be able to see and read it for myself, and now I see so much. Okay, so Superman, rather interesting, isn't it, that in the movie Superman, they want us to think we come from Smallville. That's what they put in the movie. Smallville. You think you come from Smallville, little people? Okay. Well, they come from the great cathedral up in the north, and he threw that thing in the water or something, and all of a sudden it turned into a giant Catholic church, basically, as a part of the picture. I can't remember what they called it now, but anyway, it's just amazing. So the seed of light is pointing towards Aryan, okay, but yet he had the diamond on his chest with the serpent in the middle, and so they're saying they're stars because the diamond represents a star twinkling in the sky. So they're saying we're the Superman. We represent the stars of heaven. That's a lie. Occultist, YouTube, One Pet Goat 2, and watch the, okay, short film. I guess just One Pet Goat 2. I don't know. And watch the short film and your mind will be blown, especially for you. You will understand some. Okay, thank you so much, Paula. Are you not able to just type the link? Could you type the link in there and then everybody can get it, after the program? If you can do that, that would be fantastic. But if not, we'll get it. And so, okay, ladies and gentlemen, you just got the symbolism right here on the Forbidden History. It's what they didn't want you to know. All right, it's true. And but we have fun telling it because, like I say, somebody's got to do it. Oh, and talk about symbolism. One more. This wonderful Bible that I got today as a gift from a friend, a very special friend, and I got to say thank you. This German Bible by Luther, on there it says Die Bible, D-I-E. First word die, and then Bible, B-I-B-L-E, the proper spelling, because ours is B-I-B-E-L, right, isn't it? But here it's the first word in English, is die. Okay, Die Bible, and the correct spelling of Bible, Die Bible, so there's your in your face occultic message, just like gospel, right? They removed the word evangeline, and which meant the message in the stars, and they had to change it because they had to change our words and take a lot out and replace it. And so gospel means go spell, right? Die Bible, go spell. Okay, go spell. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. The trickery and to see it in another country, right on the book, just like lexicon means. Lex is Latin for law, the law of the con, lexicon, the law of the con. I'm telling you, they have played their games on all of us, ladies and gentlemen. If you can call in, you have an observation, grievance, question, anything we can do for you here. That Bible, yes, thank you. Meaning the Bible, right? Die means the, in the German, but on the English, it's in your face. Die Bible, like, Die Bible, right? Give it it's a cover. They're just using it for the cover of religion, the priesthood. That's it. Cover. We don't give a flip about it. We trade, tricked, and trapped all of the thoughts that are in there. We created the version, and we create the diversion from the truth. That's them. And good to have you, Ria. And always great to have new listeners coming in. So, Love Matters, you're there finally. Okay, so here I have one for you. Frequency. Let me know you're still there. If so, I make sure I'm not talking to thin air again. But well, we don't have thin air here. That's the good news. But you know what I'm saying. That I was saving it for you, and so you talked about frequency yesterday. And so I saw the original thought right in it, and it was the Frey. And I know a Sundog. She was. I think her middle name is Faye, and so she picked up on the Faye right away as significant. But it's really the Frey, and we see it in the Babylonian with the Freya, spelled with an F, Freya, but then also as the abbreviation Faye. Okay, yes, you are. Okay, good. Love matters. So, okay, so frequency. Okay, I'm going to spell it for you. Write it down. F-R-A-Y. The F would really be a PH, but we can go with F because we're looking like frequency. I'm showing you how much it'll look more like frequency to do that. And so Frey, F-R-A-Y, apostrophe, Q-U, capital Q, Q-U-I-N, apostrophe, capital S-E-A. Frequency, F-R-A-Y, apostrophe, Q-U-I-N, apostrophe, S-E-A. And in Quinn, you can see Queen. Okay, so there's the Queen as the Fae, pronounced Fae, but with the R sometimes for the Frey, meaning all of creation, because it frays out all creation. Frey Quinn. Quinn is also 5. A quince is a coin, and Quinn is number 5, so it's the 5-pointed star. So the Queen is the 5-pointed star, and that's the one that waged war on Earth. The 6-pointed star, well, the 6-pointed is also doing it through the pseudo Israel, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, and okay, Paul, thank you. And so the Frey then is a code, and it means of the cosmic sea. Okay, it's the 5 code. The code of 5, a 5-star. That's the distinction between the 5 and the 6. Okay, so Frey, Quinn, C. So that's meaning communication on the highest level, the vibration. You're reading my mind, right? That's the highest vibration if you could ever do it. So maybe it is higher. It could be. But anyway, frequency. I thought that was a great one when I immediately saw it. So I hope you like that one. Love Matters. Okay, Frey, Quincy, and I can maybe I'll put it up on the board. How about that? Let me see here. Okay, video windows capture. Okay, we're getting that. And then we're going to turn off Antarctica. Remove my deal. Okay, here we go. Frequency. So, okie doke. So and then the song, I defined the word song up there in the top, and the song means the sun's eye. Okay, because G represents the light of the sun's eye. And so when you write a song, you're meaning it came down from the light. Your song came down from the light. That's what it means. Okay. So hope you enjoyed that. And you are tuned in right here to the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. Well, you're cool too, Love Matters, And great to have everybody's Faith and Star and Ya and Paula and Ria, and all of you. And sometimes I forget someone. Please forgive me. But because yeah, I have trouble, with my glasses. I could use a new pair, I guess. But let me get on now. I think we're on words that maybe we'll do letter E. I don't know. I'm thinking words that kill. I want to do that. They've killed us with the words, and we've got to be able to see and read it for ourselves. A word in a word. Okay, what's in a word, ladies and gentlemen? Everything is in a word. Thank you, Yalla. Okay, we're talking about the piracy of words, the pirate sea. They got the thing called Seagram's 7. Here's your code right there for their occult world on the high seas, which how they conquer the world. Everybody claimed the land, but they claimed the sea. So they got a whiskey called Seagram 7, and Seagram 7 read backwards is the 7 grim seas. You see, you've heard of the seven seas. Well, the 7 grim seas. So it means that's what keeps you going on the high seas. On the 7 grim seas. Seagram 7. So they gave it to us back in a word, in a code. I Pet Goat by Heliofan. Sorry, YouTube will not let me post the link. Look forward to hearing what you have to say about it. Thanks so much. Well, I can't comment on that, Paula. I'm sorry, but it's not something I've actually. The Pet Goat by the Heliofant. You mean Hierophant, like in Heliopolis when they had the school in Heliopolis where Yeshua was tested by the Hierophant. Helio means the phantom of the sun, but the goat, I don't think would be represented, only in a false image, if that. No greater energy frequency than the sun, which rules all. That's right. Everything came out of the light, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so the Gospel of John says, "In the beginning, not was the Word, but in." Not was. Let me write this here. How they tricked us with the smallest words. Okay, we'll do. And and thank you, Paula. So in the beginning is the Word. It's the Shavor. It's the shower. It's the Savior. It's the Shavor, the seed planter. Okay, it is the sword, the flaming sword of truth, the Shavor. It is the royal center, the Word. Okay, it is the DNA of life. Without it, we could do nothing. We would be dead. We have to communicate. Words are, as it's saying, words are God. In the beginning is the Word, was God, was God. Okay, but it is in the sense God, but it is the great Elohim, the great Elohim, and the great Elohim is the symbol represented by the great sun. The great sun in the sky is the great Elohim because he is spirit, and nothing greater can represent the spirit than our mother star, the light of the sun. You see, and they got us to hate the sun, to think the light is not nothing but a nature. It's supernatural. It has a purpose. It feeds us every day, and now it is killing us. And we couldn't happen to a greater race of people, I think. Other than the good people that give a damn. They deserve to go underground, but we'll be left above ground, and that's okay. We'll be in good company. In good company. And so in the beginning is the Word, and the words are the great Elohim. The words rule right after symbols, okay? Right? Because words are symbols. They're made up of the primordial essence of that vibration of thought. I'm here to tell you that words are not what you think. Unless you know what you say, then you know what you mean. But if you don't mean what you say and you don't say what you mean, then all of things around will fall apart. Chaos will ensue. And then everyone stands around in helpless decay when nobody can talk the science, the law. They railroad you into prison. They take away your home just because they can and they want to. No standing. A debtor has no standing in their world, slave. You got a birth certificate, you're a slave. You got a driver's license, you're a slave. You got a social security number, you're a slave. You using a mark of the beast, that funny money, you're a slave. Can't get away from it, can you? At least that funny money, right? Same deal. Can't get away from it. But that's okay. Doesn't mean you can't connect with the one who made all things. Doesn't mean he don't know what deal you're going through. Okay? This matters above everything else. Communication, the original thought, that which is first is superior. That which is first tells a story, unfolds into all the other esoteric meaning of words. Just like Alpine, you go up there in Switzerland, there's the Alpine. Does anybody get the picture? It's the Alpine. Okay, it's Alpine up there, right? And that's why they call it Alpine. because the Alpine, but we never get a picture it means Alpine. They could have said that because that's what the original means, Alpine. That's where we went, up where the Alpine is, okay? Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's really high. 8,000 feet and more. So, but it's amazing the game they have played, honestly, and gentlemen. Sun isn't killing us, the sun simulator. Well, what matters, bottom line is we don't have an ozone layer, okay? So from the real sun, we're getting bombarded by UVB and UVC. And the sun simulator is hiding that sun, which is also being eclipsed by the incoming, what do you call it? The binary star. Anyway, okay? So terms, all right? Terms are torums, the original thought. So spell it out, the word term that we spell it today, T-E-R-M-S. And then the original thought, which is capital T-O-R, apostrophe, capital O-M-S. O-M-S, okay? If you put an H in front of the ohm, you get that electric, that electric field, right? The ohm. And so the tor means power. So literally terms are torums. Tor for torque, for turning, for twisting, for moving, for tightening. Tor and a serpent. Tor-ums, the ohms, the sound that most Christians disdain for some reason when it comes from our Eastern tradition. The ohms, the tor-ohms, meaning the power of sound. So literally the word terms, which is torums, means the power of sound. So if we can't make a sound, we're really not going to have much power. We're going to be in trouble. Ooga booga? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So I'm going to give you another example of original thought. Okay? You can eventually, it'll all make sense, and then you can see and read it for yourself, right? You don't have to listen to Desert every day. You can breathe deep, and but you're going to see the code every way. We got a lot of people throwing love around here. Okay, so great. I love everybody too. Oh, that coffee tastes good. Dealing with my throat, but I think it's getting stronger. So boat. Okay, boat. Look at if I said that the ancient code, you turn off the T, then you get bow. Okay, and so you can see with your mind's eye that everybody's loved here. Thank you very much, and love all you. So boat is when you silence the T, you get bow. Well, isn't that what a boat looks like? It's got the bow. The bow is up in the front because it's bowed. But the whole thing used to be called the bow. Let's get into the bow because it's like a rainbow, you see? And we never get the picture, just like alpine. It's alpine, all up in the trees. Outstanding, Faith. Yeah, I'm so honored to bring together so many wonderful people on this broadcast. I didn't ever know I'd be here again. I thought, it was hard to get here, let me tell you. Do it, when you're not making that funny money, I'm telling you. So, and thank you, Star. So fluoride, okay, Florida. Fluoride, so why is Florida sound like fluoride, which puts you to sleep, and they used it in Nazi Germany to put the people under the spell? Florida, fluoride, because Florida and fluoride mean looking at the floor. Okay, why was Florida at the bottom? Because they told the people when they were coming over in the ships, when you get to the bottom, or you get to the Florida Keys, you get to the Keys, you follow them north, and then you get to the Florida. You're looking at the bottom of the big continent. Florida, the bottom, looking at the bottom, you see? It's still there today. Florida, fluoride, put you looking down at the bottom. Love you too, Faith. Thank you so much. No channel like the Forbidden History series, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a friend out there that's, all alone and trying to figure things out, then just tell them, come on down over here. We've got, a place where they can see and read it for themselves. I got all these recordings. All they got to do, start at the beginning where I start with the premiere edition. I believe that was June 21st. Okay, the premiere. And then because I spilled a lot of the beans right at the beginning, so you'd be on page. All right, so you got to follow where we're going. So in words, we're still in the words that they killed us with, and bar, you know, is, you know, the B is the V, you know, it's but bar is like when they say, when, you know, Baruch, born of the vision, Baruch, or you know, the son of, it means the son of. So it literally means the royal will. Okay, so it means more than just son of, because we came from royalty. We came from a divine order. And so when we are born of something, we were born of the royal will. Can you not see that? The royal will. We are here. We didn't ask to be here. Somebody put us here, and that was the royal will, Bar. And Barnabas, you know, they said Barnabas, but it was Barnabas being tried, meant son of the Father. Just like Yeshua was the son of the Father. So which one of them do you want me to release? Yeshua, Barnabas, or do you want me to release the murderer, Barnabas? And they say, give us Barnabas. Give us Barnabas. Oh, what should I do with Yeshua? Kill him. Kill him. And so, interesting planet we have, ladies and gentlemen. And then Switzerland, of all places, is the S is the symbol of the serpent. It's a hieroglyph. It's Mitzrayim. It's the original Egypt, moved to the European side through time, with the Knights Templars coming back from Jerusalem. Go figure. The length of time it took to get back from Jerusalem, they found Switzerland, which is a code. The serpent is the letter S. The W is an M. You flip the W over, and you get Mitzar. Mitzar, the original word for Egypt, right there in our face. And the serpent, the cobra, is in front of it. So it is, Switzerland is Mitzarland. Mitzarland, okay? And so, but the word serpent in the symbol is in front of it. So it's the serpent's Mitzarland. It's the serpent's eye of the star in the metaphor, the eye of the star, okay? And, well, thank you. I don't know, you talking to me or are you talking to, my dear love? Okay. Everybody's cool here. Hey, really, you know? And, we got a lot of talented people right here. And, but you see, ladies and gentlemen, right? The highest mountain, who are the protectors and, you know, of the Vatican, but the Swiss Guard, you see? And then I pointed out that the, not 911, you know, symbol is all over there. And it's let me type it, XIIX, okay? And it means 9/11, okay? So it's rather interesting, you know, rather interesting that all of this, you got to read the symbols, because as Confucius said, signs and symbols rule the world. That's how you know who's running the world, by who's speaking subliminally in the symbol. Okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. And tell a friend, okay, set somebody free. Send them a link of one of our broadcasts if you want. You can do that, you know, and help somebody out on their journey. We got a wonderful interview. Our first hour with the right after the mountains is the flower garden up in Vancouver Island, okay, in British Columbia, and those beautiful colors. And so that one, we did the first hour on the Watchers. Our friends are Watchers, Sky Watchers. And so check that one out, because for a full hour, we talked to Jeffrey Magaha. Jeffrey Magaha, that's the name of his channel, MCGAHA, okay, Jeffrey Magaha. And check out his channel, because he's capturing stuff. He's been doing it all of his life, apparently, and he's good at it. So check it out. And then, you know, Nakash is a word that they're using for the Shining One, but it's also symbolic of the serpent, which then symbolizes a star, because the star is a serpent. And then, but the real correction for Nakash, Nachash, is Nalgash, Nal apostrophe, actually Nailgash. So the nail is coming down, Nail, but the I is a corruption, so it's a nail, but it's spelled Nal apostrophe Gash, and Nalgash is the Naga. That's abbreviated as Naga. It said, you know, when I looked in the Strong's, the concordance for the serpent, it said Naga. It's not serpent, it's Naga, but it's the full-blown word is Nalgash. It means the serpent, that came down, the serpent of light, that Aryan Brahmin, well, what he became a Brahmin, but the Aryanism of the sun god, of the sky gods, of the ones who knew all things, the great lights. It's the Naga, the what means one who knows all things. That's what Adam knew. He named everything. He was primed to be the progenitor of the Aryan race, and that had so much knowledge they were arrogant to think they could conquer the world and kill Yahweh and his followers completely. And all they've done is basically destroy our entire world in their arrogance, destroying the ozone layer. Okay? In their arrogance. They think they're going to survive 20 million years of living underground. Can you imagine? Because that's what they're going to have to do, apparently. So we spoke about change, and it's the change they've always wanted to give us, right? Finally made it into commercials after it was first coined by Leslie Gill of the Council on Foreign Relations in the annual report in 1992. Then we find all the politicians use it in their speech, their acceptance speech. We're going to have change. Yes, change, 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 change. And then finally, we found out what change was all about. It's anything you had left in your pocket after they took everything from you, or it was when they put you in chains and leg irons in a jail somewhere, in prison in Wall Street, and bonded your hide for $30,000 a month. And that's why they'll give you 20 years. It's a better deal for them. So they gave us the change, all the change they ever promised to us. They just never told us what kind of change it was going to be. And so Phoenix, is the feathered serpent. I think I went over that. And of course, the Phoenix is also representing the male phallus. Okay, that's that other abbreviated word. Abbreviate Phoenix, and you'll get the word. So the feathered serpent, okay, means to be flying. That's what the esoteric meaning of the interrelations of man and woman. Then they give us the word parish. Okay, well, guess what? If you go to your parish, which in Louisiana is what they also call the counties, but go to your parish because you'll perish. Okay, because your parish is made up the Vatican Jesuit, river pirates again. Okay, so the parish, you perish. They'll take everything you got, and be lucky if they leave you live. Maybe. Okay, could happen, could have been, but I know that the occult was big in New Orleans. They really were. It was like another world, like being in an island of France or something, and the Jesuits controlled it. And Amelia Earhart lived there after she supposedly died, and this Illuminati friend introduced me to another one also. Lost a $5 million library, like 20,000, 40,000 books through the hurricane they had down there. But anyway, so people perish for lack of knowledge, and I guess that's why a parish would want to call itself a parish, because people are going to die for a lack of knowledge, because they're not going to know squat if they go in that bullpit every Wednesday and bob their head, say amen, and don't know what anything is all about. You've got to see and read it for yourself. You can know that you can know that you can know. Ladies and gentlemen, and Sophia means the wisdom of the Fae. There's the word shul. It's shul feya. Shul feya. Sophia is shul feya. Shul is Yeshua, Yeshulin. Okay, for school, for learning, and okay. So it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. But they don't want you to see and read it for yourself, because you could be set free and you wouldn't need them anymore, and that would not be good. Not be good. Those are the words they killed you with, all right? So I'm happy. I wish I could go to a song, and but just hang in there for me a second, okay? Let me recharge. I'm breathing deep. So we got the ABCs of light, and you're still welcome to call in. If you call in, first-time caller, guess what? You get a free copy of the Real Da Vinci Code Etymological Dictionary, or the Book of Wisdom, or a sample of the original gospel with the most current dictionary. Okay, we're here to share. Okay, to get this out. And if you don't have the funny, then and Faith, I think if you don't have all copies of my stuff already, you let me know, because I'll get it to you. Okay, for your wonderful support that you brought our way. So the ABCs of light. Scripture says, where there is no vision, the people will perish for a lack of knowledge. Okay, so the letter E, write down the capital E. I may just do a primer. Okay, I'll just do a little primer on it, because I I think I wanted to go somewhere. Let me figure that one out. But I'd love to hear from you. 608-566-7295. That's 608-566-7295. This is supposed to be group participation, caller generated program. I know you know stuff, and you're just holding back. But you know, this is the time to call in because you know how bad it is, right? You know. I know you know. That's why you're here. Okay, so E. 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 They got it from the birds. Okay, there's the E of the bird. E. E. The E of the bird. And so it went from representing the sun being the letter A. Letter A was corrupted into letter E. And there's two twins that ride along together. Thank you, Faith. You are a blessing in my life as well. Thank you. Right. Yeah. We're all in this together, you know. And I know Yeshua just gave me, you know, this. I'm not smart enough to figure this stuff out, you know. It's the fact that the Great Spirit cares so much about us that he unloads it all, you know, in this moment of time, you know, on Desert Owl. It took him 40 years to have it all, you know, come clearly. But you know, it's the divine wind because he called me and I wasn't worthy when I was called, and I'm still pulling my you know, my spirit together so that it is perfect before the great spirit of light. That's what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen. You know it's true, right? We have to come out of this world, and the spirit doesn't argue anymore. It's being set free and is at peace, in oneness, in the present moment, seeing that great light and knowing that they already know that they know, okay? And it's breathing the great breath of light on the wind and wings of fire throughout all time in a day without end. A day without end. I'm glad to have you, friends. Okay, pleased to meet any new listeners. You know, you come on. We got the most wonderful people here, just sharing their little thoughts. I mean, you know, they're not. I'm glad they keep them short. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to read them. But you know what I mean. They're short comments that are very, very you know, to point. In fact, you know, they're making their own connections and it's so fantastic it took me a long time to, you know, be able to convey the message, to be able to say it, because it's like how many years have I been trying to, you know, share what the great Father of Light's been showing me through Yeshua, my tree of knowledge, you know, which leads me to the tree of life, the great spirit, the tree of life, from the beginning. Okay. So we got so I had an experience, you know, and I'm able to do the code. Liz Raff from United K, and I'm guessing that must be short for yuck, but I hope they got a bad deal up there in yuck. You know, they got all these foreigners moved in and are destroying that world up there, and they're under threat, duress, and coercion. People being victimized by very wicked culture of religion that apparently cares for nobody. Very difficult. So wish you well up there, Liz. You're part of our family here, and we're very grateful. And you've had some wonderful comments of late. And did I have a comment of yours? I thought I got Lydia. Okay, no, I tried to write down. You know, if somebody, you know, if I missed a question or anything. So letter E. So okay, write the capital E, and then write the small e. You know, the small e. It's kind of like a circle in a way, right? And so the capital E. All right, I'm going to do something. Let me try something here. Hang on. I got. Now write in small letters. E-Y-E. Okay, the word I. E-Y-E. Write in small letters. Now, and then after you do that, turn it upside down. What do you see? It looks almost like an Egyptian hieroglyph, doesn't it? Let me show you mine, just in case somebody doesn't have a pen. Video. Hang on. Antarctica. Okay. Okay, here we go. So there's I. There's E. See? Okay, so the small e below is a symbol of the I. The big E is the symbol of three ages. But then when you do the small e upside down, you get what look like Egyptian eyes, you know, like they could be a hieroglyphic. They also look like a serpent. you know. But I found it interesting that when you turn them over, you get an Egyptian image. So just a little footnote there, nothing big. And stand by. And I'm just waiting for it to. Oh, there we go. Okay. So so just to take a look at that. And basically, what tipped me off, the first symbolism I saw out of the capital E, which got me on a fundamental trail, was I recognized that the E also looking like the I with the small e, like it means looking, and then it means three ages, and each age is represented by a star, and therefore each star is represented by an I. It literally means the three ages, not what the Vedas gave us, which was the phony golden age, and was trying to control history. But okay, love matters. Talk to you later on. Be well. And so the Vedas, were a diversion and came first because they were the great Vikaresh, the watchers who were controlling the world. So the E represents three ages, and it's the age before the flood, the age after the flood when Noah landed on the shore, the second great age, okay, which is what RR means, RR at. The AT is the alphabet, and RR is power, power, meaning age, age, second age of light. Okay, that's what that means, RR ra. So anyway, that's part of what the E is all about, three ages. And then the age after the flood up until Yeshua comes. When Yeshua comes, he brings in the final age, the third age. You got before the flood, after the flood. Then when Yeshua comes, the third age is ushered in, the golden age of light. Okay, I'm going to write that down on my card. The golden age of light. Okay, so they're talking with these are words. The one single letter is a word, and it helps you to get the picture of the diction. Okay, so there you go. Here you go, and I hope you see and read it for yourself. It's a lot of fun to see and read it for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I've just got to say that. Love to hear from you. I know you're listening intently, and I do appreciate that. I'm trying to think of where to go. With I talked about how the Phoenician alphabet versus the hieroglyphics. The Phoenician alphabet, well, both the Egyptian hieroglyphics and the Phoenician alphabet that we see on the driver's license, were a code. Obviously, it means something. The pictures, and so no matter what version they're in, it's a code. But then we begin to get the picture when we know the meaning of a code. So star, desert, your knowledge on language is amazing. I am learning so much. Thank you, thank you. It is a light bulb going off in your head, Star. I got to tell you. But of course, you're a star too. I know that, and but anyway, good to have you. So so they wrote with the letters on your driver's license on the sands. That's why it's the Phoenician, the merchants, the seafarers, the mariners, those in commerce used it as their marketing code. Ooga bugga, the marketing, the first, gonna sell you some of our goods and we're gonna take some of your goods, whether you like it or not, slave. Arr, matey. so so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we're having fun waking up on the Kool-Aid. And I wasn't feeling well today. That's why I'd really love to have you call in. I'm just a little slow today, so I think I covered all my notes today, basically, and so I'm here. I'm open for a good question, or if you want to call in and make history here. Your 15 minutes of Andy Warhol. Come on, you can do that, and love to have you. I'll tell you, getting back in the groove was a little interesting, and but once I got my feet wet and ended up hanging out with so many wonderful people. How in the world can I not resist and say hi to all of you and share with Yahweh, who is the great Aleph Haim, a place where you only hear original thought in the original Indo-Germanic mother tongue, the original Aramaic, based on the symbol and based on the code. And some of the codes are their codes, and some of the codes are Yeshua's code, the original. The original is Yeshua's code, right? He wrote the code. He wrote it. And so the symbols have a parent root, starting with the meaning of the single letter, and then the compound letters, two-letter parent roots, words, and then three-letter parent roots. And these work around in combination, just like Moses is MSH, okay? Moses is MSH. So go figure, all right? It's you add the vowels. That's where you have to divide the word. Add the vowels, okay? Yeah, the Admiralty, right? It's all in the high seas. The flood encroached on the land. They had the War and Emergency Powers Act. That's the emerging sea. The emergency they declared in 1933 is the emerging sea. Okay, and this is the emerging sea broadcast because the sea has crept onto the land. There will be a final flood, but there was a big flood a long time ago of foreign insurgents that wanted everything to do to profit off of your hide and your labor and make you a slave at the same time and hope that you'd never be able to figure it out or have somebody like Desert Owl here being able to spell it out for you, you know? And I know many of you already got the picture and you already know it. That's why we all came together. It's like we just didn't fit in somehow into that mold, or we drank a better Kool-Aid. Maybe it was manna from heaven, actually. I think it was, right? The metaphorical manna from heaven. It was, you know, I was having dreams and visions all my life, and it just took me a while to interpret the meaning and the symbol and the numbers and the names, you know, like, whoa. 1998 fell victim to a powerful conspiracy, you know, to rob me of my freedom. And it was 98 right place where I was born. 98 right place. So I'd know immediately through the Heavenly Father that I was supposed to be there. Okay, it's the right place. That's all right. And then I found out 1998 is 666 times 3. I don't even remember how I did that. I was inspired, you know. All right, what else does it mean? And so 1998, 666 times 3. So 666 represents a star. Remember, it's not evil by itself. It's a number that has mystical meaning, you know, and so it is a mystical number, and it stands for creation, and so it represents a star, and so when I have 666, it so represents the sun, and then when I have 666 times 3, 1998, that's a supernova, and so that's when I had the vision while I am being detained against my will and fell victim to a government sting operation. Then you know, the vision came to me after I fasted for 21 days. I was going for 22, the number of perfection, 22 letters in the alphabet, and then I got the vision of you know, the alphabet coming out of the center of the light, the center of the sun, and dancing in it's the string of letters and dancing before me on the computer screen of my mind, and then straightening out. And while I saw it dancing there, twisting about, I heard words like Paul said that are impossible to repeat. It was so powerful to hear from Yahweh or Yahweh, the great Elohim, you know, Mother, Father, whatever, Yeshua, the words, and it's the Father, the Spirit, so it represents the Father. Was so powerful that as soon as the alphabet straightened out in front of me, in front of my vision, I don't know if I was asleep or awake, immediately those words that I had heard that were so powerful dissipated from my memory bank, and I only knew I heard the most powerful thing ever said to my ears, you know, by my great Father of light, from the sun, from the throne of the sun, the great illumination, and telling me with this dancing alphabet coming out of the center of the sun of the light that I was going to be dissipating words, if that's the right word, you know. It feels like a new use for the words, but you know, bringing it to my, you know, my friends out here that care about decoding it for themselves. It's classified, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to decode it? Okay, it's classified. They weren't supposed to be able to do that. So it's okay. You know, they're coming for me, but they're coming for you too. Don't forget it. They're coming for all of us. So We need to be prepared for our families to know that you know that you know. You know, make your spiritual connection, make your connection with knowing who your enemy is, who the enemy is, what's about to happen. It is possible to know what is about to happen from a cosmic standpoint to what will happen after the event occurs or before the event occurs, like a blackout, you know, and then all mayhem and martial law and rounding up of people and you name it, self-defense, hoarding food, pillaging, raping and pillaging, you know. Um, but then, you know, then others may just experience a blast from the air or a tsunami, you know, or an earthquake. But we know that with what's happening cosmically, everything we're seeing in the sky, we know it's, you know, our eyes aren't lying to us. We have seen all the evidence. It is here. It is here. So the most important thing is to stop looking at the illusions, following the political charade, being concerned about whether there'll be a war or an economic collapse. How many years have I been hearing about there's going to be an economic collapse ever since I got into the political activism, almost 30 years, right? Following the illusions, hypnotized, when just realizing that the treasure in heaven, the treasure of knowing who you are, where you are, why you are, and when you are, and taking back from being under the spell of spelling and words, and take control of their meaning by proper spelling, by identifying the fraud, the corruption, okay? And Paula says, I've had a vision in my whole life, and my artwork always had a slot of spirals in it, a lot of spirals. I would fill a notebook of spirals, full of spirals and in past 2 years, I have learned about the importance of the spiral. Sure, and that's at its foundation, the Fibonacci sequence. That's number 6. This is a Fibonacci. Let me type in something here. Okay, so there was 911, and then 6. Okay, so 6 is the number of creation, and so you know, 911, 9 is the destruction, and 11 is a new beginning. It's a number 1. It's a new 1. So 9, 11, 9 is means destruction, but it's also always implicates a new creation, and that's a symbol of the new age, and that's what we also see in the code. Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. X. Oh, that's the wrong letters. Hang on. Where are you at? Okay. So you see, so the code is how they speak. And anyway, I'm grateful all of you are tuned in, and I don't know where I was going with all that actually. Other than my vision. Okay, yeah, and I had to literally pretend to eat my food because I was in the tank, in the drunk tank, because I wouldn't sign into the jail, so I was in there for a whole month, and so I fasted for 21 days, and in the process they weren't, you know, they were going to force feed me if they knew I was not eating, and so I had to pretend to eat the food in my tray. Well, as soon as I put it to my mouth, I dumped it in the toilet, just on the other side of the tray, right down in the toilet. I sat on the floor. And so if you can imagine, for the whole time, I pretended to eat 3 meals a day while never putting it to my mouth and not eating it. You know, so it was a real test for me. And I had a great vision. And so the Father is great because he brings this to all of us because it's so bad. I'm not smart enough to figure this out, friends. Not smart enough. It's revelation. It's the power of Yeshua. It is he who leads you down the trail. Okay? You have to follow him. He will lead you where to go. And it is a total surrender. Surrender is soul. Soul render. It means to render to the light. You have to render to the light. Soul render. Okay? Surrender. And because we can't be in control because we're not in control. We didn't make our own lives. We didn't make ourselves. We didn't put ourselves here. We were put here by a greater power that wants us to identify with, which is not in the matrix and the illusion, but in the reality of the unseen, the ever-presence on the highest attic um, apex, and the Estes of life, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so great mystery. Hope you're seeing it, and it's all making more sense to you. Yeah, well, that was a grand. Hang on, Faith. Excuse me. Right, 9/11. If you go back and listen to my earlier programs about 2 weeks ago, I proved thanks to Fenton the what Israel was setting up were the two columns, and they had an altar in between the two columns, and they passed their children through the fire. They sacrificed people there between the two columns. Both of those columns symbolize sun and moon, the primordial beginning of creation on earth, the sun and the moon. They create life on earth. So they're the two columns. And then so they ritually sacrifice people from the beginning of time, okay, from Mitzrayim, Egypt, from India, wherever you want to talk about it. The pyramid civilizations, they've been sacrificing. And the two columns symbolize sun and moon. And then through time we find it in Columbia, Columbia, District of Column, District of Columns, District of Columns. Even though they're only showing you one, the the Egyptian obelisk, the Mitzrayim obelisk for the phoenix and the male erection. Also the capital letter L for illuminated, L for serpent, L for the vow L. They took a vow to the L because it represents their goddess, the serpent, the phallus. Okay, they take a vow to the L. That's why you see the L everywhere in the obelisk, in the in India it's known as the lingam. They pour milk on it all day and massage it. Give me a break. What a religion. How pathetic. So yeah, that's where all this darkness comes from, friends and ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's darkness that's all around us, but the great light shines, and they're in the void. They have no real power. They are in the void. That's what's going on. We have to be set free. Okay, hang on. So hope you're getting the picture. Hope you're telling your friends about the broadcast. Let me see what time we got here. Let me get my OBS decoding system here. Got it for free on the internet, obs.com. If you are wanting to set up your own YouTube channel, OBS operates with in tandem with YouTube. Okay, so I'm just looking here. What am I looking at? Oh, just the time, 1:37. We got a little time. Love to have somebody call in if you aren't doing anything, or I've pretty much gone through my card. Wait a minute, did I go through? Yeah, I did. I went through that too. The duality in nature. I had a quote. I don't remember reading it. Hang on a minute. Did I? Oh yeah, I think I did. The battle for the mind. Yeah, truth is light, and ignorance is darkness. Right? Ignorance is the void. The darkness is the void. So the light fills everything. Right? So truth is light, and ignorance is the darkness, and those are the antagonists against each other, or as it says in our scriptures about Amalek, that our battle would be with Amalek throughout all time, and Amalek means false messenger. Therefore, what it means is our battle with Amalek, meaning the Phoenician king. Symbolically, we're following the Phoenician script, are we not, on your driver's license? Okay, the Phoenician king Amalek, the false messenger, turned it into war diction. Our battle with Amalek will be throughout all time. So a battle with the false messenger, and therefore also a battle with the false messages. The false messages, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that everything's all right. There's nothing wrong. Just listen to the weathermen that are owned by Rothschild and say what they're told to say, or they don't have their jobs. And all the professors in university, all under the power of the Vatican, to keep the big lie a big lie, to keep the charade going. No truth on the campus, you know what I mean? And very soon, no truth right here either. Because they take your tuition. They take everything you got at the door. Your tuition, what they called your intuition, but it was really the tuition, and you paid it at the door. No in about it. That's indecent. That's inoculate. That's all those in words. Inebriated. Okay, just not a good word. Incarcerate. See, so they wanted to incarcerate you. That's right. And so we got to see and read it for ourselves. The battle for the mind is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Be set free. There's things coming. It's interesting. This June 27th, July 27th, a new movie's also about to come out, and I think it was Jeffrey Magaha, who I interviewed on program number 16 of the Forbidden History series, program 16. Could have been 17, but you'll see the colorful trees on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. Okay, the trees. That's I think 16, could be 17, but first hour is dedicated to this cosmic stuff. All right, and so on the 27th of July, there's a new movie coming out on Netflix to celebrate the 27th, and there's supposed to be a blood moon or something. I think as well. I'm not sure, but there could be. But it's called Extinction. The movie is called Extinction on July 27th, when supposedly there'll be a red moon, okay, a blood moon, and I'm trying to make the connections. Check it out yourself and see if it ain't true, and you can share more with us, or we'll just have to wait and see. Wait and see, because we know we are witnessing the greatest show on earth, and they do things on a grand scale. Okay, they do things like nobody's business, other than their business, I guess, right? Stand by, I got to turn on the air. Getting a little hot in here. And you are tuned in to the Real Public Radio. The Real Public Radio, ladies and gentlemen. That's .net, the realpublicradio.net. Free America Radio Network. And I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, getting a little warm in here. And so, I know there was something else. I know. Let me think here. Yeah, there was. I think it was on the duality. Let me check this out. I just forgot. On the duality is revealed in patterns and pictures, and how that which is false has taken over that which is true. The darkness. The darkness is ruling, but the beauty is the great star of light is behind it all. Blood moon and Luna eclipse on 27th July. Thank you, Liz. A lunar eclipse. There you go. So, okay, but that which is false has taken over. The world is in a falsehood. The second matrix. Okay, second matrix. We're in trouble when they control our words and our thinking. Nature. The words were a part of nature. They were symbols out of nature. And therefore, you were free to interpret the meaning of the symbol, and it could even be passed down orally, But once they took over publishing and governments took over, it was over. Okay, so Israel was banished from their own land twice. First time, the real Israel in 730 AD, and then the phony priesthood that took over because business was good, a phony agency. And they hated the Samaritans. That's interesting. Samaritans were claiming to be Israel, even though they really weren't, because Israel was banished and done away with. But, so Israel was banished from their own land, and then it happened in 68 through 70 AD. Okay, when it was phony Israel all the way. The priesthood that put Yeshua on the cross. Israel, the real Israel, had been gone for 500 years and more. Israel, 730 years, 730 years. Okay? We went over all this. I went into the scriptures. I proved it to you. You can prove it yourself. Or get it for our Fenton Bible. That's the best way to do it. Go to artisanpublishers.com. That's artisanpublishers.com. Okay? And you reviewed the movie Oceans Rising on your channel, which is incredibly insightful. Desert question. What are your thoughts about the movie? What? The one you just mentioned there? Oceans Rising. I haven't watched that. I watched one that was on YouTube, Chasing Ice. I believe it was called Chasing Ice. Yeah, I hear Star. And so So if that's a YouTube, I definitely want to watch it. I'm going to write that down. Let me get my magic marker. Where is it? Oceans Rising. Okay. Oceans Rising. YouTube. Okay, that's great. I need a break. I'd love to watch something like that. And so, the scripture tells us that it was given that our pure tradition would be hijacked by the occult. That's what the bottom line is, okay? It's a remnant. If there's a remnant left, and I would challenge that the Sephardic could have been the last remnant, but the Khazars made sure they were killed in the concentration camps during World War II in Germany. One group, Jews going after another group who adopted the name Jew, but may have been originally Israel, okay? The Sephardic, not the Ashkenazi, okay? The Nazi. So anyway, we are in trouble, and don't forget, there's the duality that we're confronted with every day in making choices. Just like Israel fell, the Aryans fell, and that's the story we're not being told, but we do tell it here, okay, on the Forbidden History. And well, I'm so grateful for all your participation. Yes, Oceans Rising. This is on. Oh, it's on Netflix. Is it Netflix? I just subscribed to that. I got my free trial. Thank you for that, Natasha. Okay, watch that. And so yeah, our world sucks, basically, ladies and gentlemen. It used to be a nice place, at least when there's room for everybody, and they put on a pretty good act, I guess, one time when they pretended freedom and peace and love and all of that. Well, they drank our blood and spit us up and chewed us out and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Well, they said they loved us and came to us in the guise of religion. Yeah. You don't ever call, and that's your problem. You got to stop this. You got to start calling in. and you know something. Come on, I know you know something. Netflix. No, I know Netflix is not on YouTube. I've got Netflix separately. You got it. Okay, I knew that. So and thank you, Natasha. So so yeah, it's just amazing where we are, ladies and gentlemen. I think I got all my notes now. I've been doing the history of the church and the original gospel in the morning read, and I'm gonna try to keep bringing it on, but I'm trying out a new time window, and I'm gonna see how it goes. You just got your free trial too. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So yeah, I'm just uh, taking one day at a time, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got to do. One day at a time. We've got to breathe deep. Everything's okay. We know that the world is run by psychopaths, and they've got their job. That's their job. You got your job. I got my job. Everybody's got their job, and I feel sorry for them. And we know about the short lives of dogs and what they represent, and they're mother sons of darkness, the mother sons of darkness, while being claiming that they're of the light. Do you call on Hangouts? No, I don't use that, LC. I've tried it, but I didn't have success. I don't know what was going on. Love the new time. Okay, Martha, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I know that'll be good for some people, and it'll be rough. Like I'm fearing it's gonna be bad for Sand Groper. Because it'll be like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. over there where she's at. So I don't think that's gonna work for her. And I enjoyed having her, but I'll try to alternate when I can, or mix it up. If I've got to work out though. I got to get my workout going. I'm feeling it. Just sitting in my chair and watching documentaries, reading, doing research, doing the program, and then I'm not getting. I got to get in the rhythm. Because we're wearing down, and I want to tough it out as long as I can. And never know what we're going to end up doing. You know what I mean? Or how far we may end up walking. You know what I mean? So being in shape is really important. So I've just got to get back in mind. I know some good techniques. If you're in need of good techniques, let me know. Okay, anytime. Very good, Martha. Up in the tundra, somewhere up there in northern Canada. Um, and yeah, and she's doing the sky watching too. She's got wonderful, presentations that she does to help us out. And Yeah, we're in trouble. So I can't imagine we got till the end of the year. It seems like if we're lucky, we got a few months maybe. But as small as they were around the sun 4 years ago, I think we could have another year. It's still coming in, but it's still far away. Liz, it's at 11:30 p.m. over there in Dublin. Yeah, so that's getting late for you, and I'm sorry about that. But some nights you may stay up then, and you're welcome to join us. Otherwise, you'll have the recording, and it's not permanent. I'm just trying things differently. That's all. Okay. I'd like to get Bill Hughes on to do a presentation on the sinking of the Titanic. Well, the new time, Natasha, tentatively will be from somewhere between 1 and 2, if I have my way about it, if I get things started right early. The way I was doing it, I just fell out. I wasn't feeling good today. But the average would be 1:30, 1:30, because I want to do preparation. And if I'm running late, I'll just put a notice up there, running late, 10 minutes, whatever. And so you'll get the picture. But I will turn it on as soon as I know. But so I make sure I know. I try to before I turn it on. I've turned it off a few times, so just wasn't up to snuff. You know what I mean? And so ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful for and Liz, thank you. Oh, you're a night owl, so that's a good deal. Very good. We're gonna have you then. Good. And so you'll just be a part of our very unique family that is like a dozen people on average that listen in at one time, just the way it is right there. I'm taking my carbon 60, excuse me. And so just so our time, it's so serious that we know as much as possible, and especially you parents that have your little ones still, and they're sanctified by you. Your babies, your little ones are sanctified by the mother or father, especially both, if they're both living in the presence of the Great Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the great breath of the wind and fire, and Yeshua. So they're protected, and they need to be protected by parents with great virtue and honor, and that have separated from the world. That's the secret. That's what we do. Okay, and so thank you for the show. And 88, that's right. 88 is the double number for return, and that's my favorite number. I used to live on Route 88 when I was in West Virginia, and I used to drive down with my 18-wheeler, my tanker with hazardous materials down 288 south of Houston, going towards Old Ocean, and another metaphor, and as if to say going into the ancient past, because that's when I was reading a lot and doing that. And Desert, I would love some techniques for getting into shape. Yeah, I can forward some of that stuff to you, Star, but it'd be great if you could call. Then we could, find out, what and if this would be good for you, rather than just bombard you. Natasha, can you send out a 30-second video to give us a heads up, maybe 30 minutes ahead? Well, I could try that. Yeah, okay, I can do that. I mean, I'll give it a shot. One more trick I got to learn, but that'd be fine. Thank you, Desert. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Martha. You're all special people to me because you're friends of mine, and I want you all to live forever. I want you to be set free. I want you to see and read it for yourself, to know that you know that you know, and to not be deceived by the great lie anymore, but to be able to have the anointing of truth that allows you to unlock all doors through the Great Spirit, through creating light, which is prayer. Um, you know, the um, the great breath of the wind and fire, of light and truth and peace and reason and love, what we call the Holy Spirit. The anointing is truth, and you need not that anyone teach you, but the same anointing teaches you about truth, and it's not a part of any lie. Not a part of any lie. That's 1 John 2:27. Okay, so to identify the truth, we got to identify the lies. We got to see it and read it for ourselves and know that we know that we know. Belief means I think so. Belief in Latin means to give little credit to something. So to say I believe in Jesus is to say I give little credit to Jesus in the code. They have pulled the whammy on us. It's all a spell, but they have no supernatural power. It is the trickery, the trick art. Okay, it's being an insider and you're an outsider. Liz, thank you so much. Be well. Get some sleep out there, and just hope that we can see more. before it's all said and done, and know that we're closer than ever to the promised land, which is not a piece of real estate, but a state of being where you want to be within yourself before the great breath of the wind and fire, the Holy Spirit. You're hearing the original thought right here on this program where you don't ever hear the original thought. You know, this is a miracle to hear, you know, the prime element meanings of the burning shavors, because they were just abbreviated. It's a miracle, but that's the thing, the code. They used Aramaic to do it. They used our own ancient tongue and just screwed up a few letters. And then there you go, presto, bang, bing, bong, boom. We got control of your code because we wrote the script. The script, you get it? The script? That's right. Prescription, scripture, the actor's script. Oh, it's all a script, isn't it? Everything is a script. What's your script, right? So welcome to the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Star. Thank you so much. So, okay, I think it's a wrap. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Hope a little earlier, closer to 1 or 2 Eastern time. All right, but if I can help anybody out, you've got my number. Star, I'm here to help anytime. You know that. And y'all love and thank you for your you know, special gift today. And Liz, okay, you as well, and Martha and Faith, okay, all. Thank you, Faith, again for your wonderful gift. Don't forget, if you want to get a copy of the Book of Wisdom, right? Any size donation. If you don't have the funny money, I'll get it to you anyway, okay? Go to therealpublicradio.net, go to the contact page, or just go to contact@freeamericaradio.com, contact@freeamericaradio.com. Please don't send any attachments or, you know, pictures, just words. It's a small account. It gets overloaded real quick. So just type your message, okay? And we can touch base on the other side if necessary. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Desert Owl telling you, if you want to know the future, you just need to look for the Forbidden History, because it's all right here, coming to you Monday through Friday, twice a day, sometimes 7 days a week, on the realpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network. And see you, Liz. Do you really think we have a year left? No, I don't think we have a year left. No. I think we've, yeah, it's over. The stream, stop stream. Oh, I didn't stop it yet. Okay. So I'm still talking. I'm still live. Okay. No, we don't have a year left. I think we could have weeks left if we're lucky, a couple months. And if we get over a year or into next year, that'll be a miracle. But we're going down. The evidence is all around us. The UV, B, and C radiation. It's no longer safe to go into the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, stay out of the sun at all costs, okay? That means sitting next to your window when sunshine is coming through, even the blinds. Put up a vinyl covering like the top of a box, a vinyl box. I've got a couple of them. They block the window. You got to shield from the sun. And okay, so thanks for tuning in. And you got it right here. What the Forbidden History series, what they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. It's a wrap. I'm Desert Owl. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you.